tonight?
Good.
Yeah, thank you for coming out supporting live comedy. Very happy to be here. It is May Day, May Day, May Day. Anybody else have to pay rent today? All these empty seats. That's what they had. That's what happened. I know the feeling. Yeah, we got Mother's Day coming up next week. Any parents in the crowd? That's what I figured. Moms, we appreciate you. Yeah. My daughter, she is 11 years old, so last year when she was 10, she took her mom out for a sushi date for Mother's Day. Right? I don't know if y'all know this, sushi's not cheap. Yeah, this girl had to save up her allowance for several months so she could take mom out. And I don't know if you know this, but I was not paying her a living wage either. Like, she's 10. And she's a girl, so she made even less. Yeah, took her mom out to sushi, so I was like, oh, nice, Father's Day comes up after Mother's Day. I know where the bar's been set. I can't wait. What is she gonna do for Dad's Day? You know what she did? She gave me a macaroni necklace. Yeah, dads, you know, the ones you make in grade school. I was like, you couldn't even cook it up and feed me? Useless. She's got a younger brother, and I was like, all right, he still thinks I'm a hero. He's young enough to think that Dad's a hero. What is he gonna do for Dad's Day? My son wrote me a letter that he made in school, and this is how it started. My dad is so amazing, his favorite thing in the whole world is doing dishes. I was like, bro, do you even know me? Where is this coming from? And then I had this flashback, right? I had this flashback to every single time my son came up to me and was like, Dad, come outside and throw the football with me. And I'd say, son, yes, as soon as I'm done doing these dishes. Dad, I am struggling with my math homework. Can you help me with this problem? My hands are wet, son. As soon as I finish these dishes, I'll be right there. It is no wonder he thinks I prioritize and think doing dishes is so much cooler than hanging out with him. Yeah. Being a parent, right? Being a parent. I remember when my kids were young, when they were infants and they were going through those choking stages. Parents, do you remember that? Those are scary times, right? Yeah, panic times. Nobody tells you that those stages never go away because they're 10 and 11 and they're still going through choking stages. I want to choke the shit out of you. Yeah. My son the other day, he saw his very first Viagra ad while watching YouTube on my phone. I had to look at him. I had to be like, what are you looking up, man? You are messing with my algorithm, okay? Because that's not me. In the middle of this ad, he hears Viagra, guaranteed to make you rock hard. He looks at me, he's like, Dad, what does rock hard mean? There's no parenting book that will tell you how to answer that question, okay? I didn't know how to handle it, so I just quickly said, well, it's like another way of saying really strong, right? Feel your muscles, hard as a rock. I didn't think much of it. A few days later, he's at wrestling practice. Coach brings all the boys together. They're like, hey, we got a big tournament this weekend. What are we gonna do? My son just nonchalantly raises his hand with this grin like, Coach, it's so easy. Just get us all Viagra, man. We'll be rock hard. Yeah, now I gotta make him walk like 3 blocks around the corner after practice so I can pick him up because I'm not gonna show my face around there. No. But parenting hack, if you want your kid to win every wrestling match, just get them Viagra, okay? How bad do they want that trophy? Yeah. Oh my God, gas. Gas is getting so expensive, right? I had to pass Olympia, so I stopped at Costco to get gas. Every single person leaving the gas station had this pissed off look on their face. Yeah, like they just found out their significant other has an OnlyFans and is in the top 1%. That look. I'm like, bro, you're already getting gas cheaper than everybody else. Relax, you're in the club. Yeah, Costco in their Sunday best just to go to Costco. Like any good sense of community, you're guaranteed to run into somebody you know there. And just like church, people will look at you and judge you for your decisions. They want to know, what are you buying in bulk? Why do you have so much baby oil? You don't even have a baby! And I know they judge me. I remember last time I was at Costco, I bought condoms in bulk, okay? Yeah. I got divorced and I was like, I'm gonna be fucking. This was several years ago, okay? I still have that box of condoms. Nobody told me this, but condoms expire. Did you know this? Yeah, I had to find out the hard way. I had to find out that abortions aren't free. Yeah, gas really is. It's getting so expensive, my single friends have to change the dating radius on their profiles. Yeah. 6 months ago, they don't mind driving 45 miles. They'll go 90 miles with blue balls. It's okay. But in this economy, Yeah, they're looking at Google Maps like, who's within a 20-minute walking distance? There's so many fish in the sea, right? Yeah. But they all have an OnlyFans. That's true. It's true. But dating is really hard. My single friends, they're in their 30s and they're having a real hard time finding love. Anybody else struggling with this? Yeah? I'm like, dude, you're in your 30s. Like, this is the best time for dating. You could be dating someone in their 20s or their mom in their 40s. Both are socially acceptable. But you don't want to date anyone in your 30s when you're in your 30s, right? Because those are supposed to be your friends. And then by the time you're in your 30s, you should have fucked your friends already. What are you, a loser? Yeah. But being in your 30s is tricky. Like when you're in your 20s, women will look at you with so much potential. Look at what he could be. When you're in your 40s, they look at you like, what have you accomplished? But when you're in your 30s and you're single, they're like, he could be a serial killer. But he drives a Prius. They're so confused, they don't know what to make of it. Y'all like serial killers, ladies? Y'all like those? Hot ladies love it. I don't know why. Actually, I do know why. I remember my girlfriend, she loved watching those documentaries, so one day I was scrolling and I came across this article that was like, if you're out in the woods and you come across a tree whose leaves are greener than all the other trees, could indicate there's a body buried under there. Yeah. Our very first date, we went on a hiking trip. Now, every time I send her a really cool scenic hike, she doesn't want to go. She's like, oh, is this my final resting place? Really? Yeah. But dating is hard. It is hard. It's hard if you're a woman. It's hard if you're a man. Right? Is there anybody here that is dating? Anybody single on the dating apps? You are? Let me ask you something. Are men still posting pictures of fish in their profile? Is that still a thing? Why? I'm trying to understand the psychology of this. Like, if you're just trying to prove that your ability to hoard an abundance of resources, like, dude, just show her your Costco card, alright? Yeah, that BBC, or BCC, that black Costco card, baby. You flex that executive membership, that's right. But it is hard. I remember when I was dating, I remember going out on this date, I kid you not, on the first date, this girl told me that she's had 5 abortions. Yeah! Right? Yeah. I couldn't believe it. I was like, I don't even know your favorite color. What kind of music do you like? Do we have a similar playlist? No, But honestly, I take full responsibility for this, okay? Like, I had crystal rocks in my pocket, and I asked the universe for killer pussy. You really gotta be careful what you're manifesting, alright? Because the universe is kind of like a genie. They'll give you your wish. It's just not exactly what you wished for. Yeah. I recently did a gig at a plasma center. Yeah, pretty good gig. It wasn't a big one, the crowd was about this big, including the staff. And it went really well because they paid me and they asked me to come back very soon. Yeah. Nobody tells you this, but when they say that it's a blood sacrifice for fortune and fame, they mean it. Yeah. I'll end on this note right here. I recently found out that I'm not tall enough to donate sperm. Who knew there was a height requirement? Right? I'm not going to tell you how tall you have to be, but I will say this. It's not 5'8". Which is crazy. Like, we know ladies want a man over 6 feet tall, alright? The dating profiles tell us this. But let me ask you something. When eggs get to be $10 a dozen again, how's it going to feel feeding that Sasquatch, huh? Yeah, this little Bruce Lee build, it fits the budget. And I don't know if you know this, but like, if you're over 6 feet tall, they will not send you to Mars, alright? So who's more evolved for the future, huh? This guy. Yes. We are going to have a lot of fun tonight, you guys. Thank you so much. Get ready. I'm going to bring out your very next comic. Keep it going for Yogi